we made a grid, which was a stage cloth which we laid down on stage, and we used to drop the lighting bars down to about 4 metres, in fact exactly 4 metres from the stage, and we would refocus on the grid. So somebody could go up a ladder with a drawing and they could focus a light to this grid pattern, and in fact it was so accurate in the end that we did one ballet which we didn't reproduce for something like 8 years, and when it came back you saw all these strange shapes. I mean, I couldn't remember exactly what the scenery was like, and one thing and another, I mean, it's 8 years later, I mean, I remember the bones of the ballet, but I mean, didn't remember all the detail. There were all these strange shapes coming up, and they said, what's this for? So I have no idea, but if the plan says that's what you've got to set it like, then that's what you do. You focus it exactly like that. I focused it all up. When we brought the lighting up on the set, which had been meticulously marked, how it was to be hung, what bars it was to be hung on and everything. We had a very good stage management team working with the ballet. It all went back exactly in the right places, and the lighting came up, and there it was. It was all exactly as it was supposed to be focused. So it does work. People used to think, no, it doesn't work. It worked.
I want to come back to colour, John.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned much earlier on that Michael Northern was quite an influence in terms of colour.
Yes.
And you did have a reputation for using some unusual colour combinations.
You don't ask me what unusual combinations I use, because I can't remember.
Well, they were normal for you.
They were normal for me.
But how do you see colour functioning in theatre lighting?
Well, I love it. I mean, I just enjoy using it and trying new colour and seeing what colour does. People think that I would only light something in lots of colours, but if I thought that the production was going to look right only in open white, then I would do it in open white. But I think that if you're doing operas and ballets and those sort of things, then I do think that you have more opportunity for putting more colour in.
John, over the years that you've been lighting, what do you think has changed the field the most?
In terms of equipment, I mean, obviously there have been huge advances. I mean, now, for a start, the lighting controls are all computerised. Nobody would dream about going back to some sort of manual control of any sort, and so you've got the opportunity of putting in literally cues every moment of the performance, so you can vary the lighting as much as anybody wants it to be varied. Intelligent lights, of course, weren't available when I was doing lighting. I did a ballet, Spartacus, and we desperately, by that time, intelligent light was in its infancy. I don't know whether any were available in South Africa, but you did see that there was intelligent lighting being used in things like pop videos and things. And we desperately wanted intelligent light for Spartacus, because there were moments in it where I really needed that sort of the things that you could do with intelligent lights. And if ever I went back and did Spartacus again, I would definitely be using as many intelligent lights as I could lay my hands on.
So you're not intimidated by the technology at all?
Oh no, I love the technology, and also I mean, I have used intelligent lights in more recent productions. I mean, nothing particularly big, a few things at the Baxter Theatre and things like that. Whenever I use intelligent lights, they always say, oh, we must correct it and make it look like a tungsten light and all that sort of thing. And I said, no, I don't want to use that. Defeats the object. I want the intelligent light to look like an intelligent light, not meaning that I want it swimming about all over the stage doing its own dancing around, but I want that crisp intensity that you get from an intelligent light.
So the quality of light.
I want that quality, yes.
And how often do you work with quality of light within generics as well? I mean, is that clearly important to you, the difference between a profile and a Fresnel in terms of the feel that generates?
Yes, it is actually. Yes, as far as I'm concerned, it is. I mean, I relished really when PAR cans came in. Yeah, I know that the beam is not always absolutely perfect. Some, depending on the globe that's in use, you get better light out of some than you do from others. But that didn't really worry me. I wasn't really worried about the fact that the beam would be a bit intense in the centre and dropping off to the edge or something like that. I wanted that intensity that you could get only from a PAR can. I mean, far better than using say a 2K profile, for instance. So that affected me much more. And I mean, people were quite, I think, horrified, really, that I said, well, no, I think we must use them, you know.
How do you think audience expectations of lighting have changed over the years?
Well, I think audience expectations have changed with the advent of pop videos. You can see this in all the musicals that come out now. They're all done to make them all look like pop videos. I think that's the thing. Everybody wants to see, not only see, but hear. They expect opera, musicals, everything to be like they would hear a pop video. That all then goes through everything, including orchestral concerts, where in an orchestral concert you expect to hear it like you would hear a recording. And of course it never is quite like that. That's not being nasty to Cape Philharmonic or anything like that. I think they're wonderful. But live is live. And if it's supposed to be live using acoustic instruments, then it's live with acoustic instruments. And that means if you've got to use these things on the side of your head to hear, then you must use them to listen to. And that means keep quiet and listen.
John, if you had to give some advice to a young up-and-coming lighting designer, what would it be?
Well, I tell you, it would be the same as the advice I was given when I first went to see Michael Northern and said, can you give me some advice on what I should do, and can I come and watch you sort of working on stage and see how you do it and all this sort of thing. Michael Northern, he was busy lighting a musical actually at the time, and he said, you wouldn't want to sit here for hours, and you can't come on stage and be with me all the time chasing me around like a puppy dog. You would need to just sort of sit and watch what I'm doing. And he said, you don't want to sit there for the next 5 hours going through the night watching me focus lighting and all that sort of thing. He said, you'd be bored out of your mind. He said, and if you sort of have some idea of what you're doing with lighting, and clearly you do, he said, just go out there and do it. And so my advice to people who want to go into lighting is go out there and do it. Not go out there and do an opera immediately or a ballet immediately, but go out there and light things, smaller things, learn by your mistakes doing smaller things, and then gradually move up the chain and start doing operas and ballets and other things. I think that's really what you've got to do, because you only really learn in this business by doing it.
John Baker, thank you.
Thank you.